The biggest regret of my life is folded inside a piece of paper, and to this day, no one has ever read it. If you've ever held back the one thing you should have said to someone, this story is for you. It was 1987. I was 23 years old, living in a small town where everyone knew everyone, and nothing stayed a secret for long, except this one. I won't tell you his real name. Some things are meant to stay only in the heart. I'll just call him David. David lived in the house across from ours. A quiet house with a small rooftop where he'd sit every morning with a cup of tea and a book. He wasn't the loudest boy in the neighborhood, or the most talked about, but there was something calm about him, something steady. Every morning when I stepped outside to fetch water, he'd be standing there, a book in his hand, but his eyes always somewhere else, on me. We never spoke, not really, just glances, a shy smile, then eyes dropping to the ground. That was our whole world back then, a world built entirely on silence, and somehow that silence said more than words ever could. Some mornings I would walk slower than I needed to, just to give that moment one more second to last. I'd tell myself I was imagining things, that a boy like that could never really be thinking about a girl like me. But deep down, I knew what I felt was real. Then one day, everything changed. I heard David's family had arranged his marriage to someone from another town. His father had already made the decision. No one had asked him. No one had asked me either. Not that they ever would have in those days. And I felt like the air had been pulled straight out of my chest. I remember sitting by our window that whole evening, watching the sky turn orange, feeling like something inside me was slipping away, and I couldn't hold on to it. That night, I sat with a candle burning beside me, and I wrote him a letter. It took me 3 hours. My hands were shaking the entire time, and I had to start over more than once because the words never felt like enough. I poured into it everything I had carried in silence for 3 years. That seeing him on that rooftop made my whole day, that there was something in his eyes I had never found in anyone else, that maybe, just maybe, we were meant for each other if only we had been given the chance. I sealed the letter in an envelope. I wrote his name on it slowly, like it was the most important thing I would ever write. I even walked to the edge of our street that night, letter in hand, ready to leave it somewhere he would find it. And then I never sent it. Why? Because I was afraid of what people would say, afraid that if he rejected me, I'd carry that shame for the rest of my life, afraid of losing my reputation in a town where everyone knew everyone's business and where a girl's name could be ruined by a single rumor. So I turned around, walked home in the dark, and put the letter in my drawer. And the next week, David left, forever. I told myself I would forget him. I told myself it was for the best, that fear had protected me. But some part of me always knew I had let something slip through my fingers, and I had done it with my own hands. Years later, I heard his marriage wasn't a happy one, and I also heard, through someone who knew him, that he had wanted to say something to me too, before he left. But he never found the courage either. We both stayed silent, two people standing on opposite sides of the same fear, and we both let the most important moment of our lives pass by, wrapped in quiet, telling ourselves it simply wasn't meant to be. Even now, on the nights I sit alone, that letter is still with me. Old, yellowed paper, the ink slightly faded now, tucked away like a secret I've never fully let go of. Sometimes I take it out. I read it again, every word, in the same handwriting I had at 23. And I wonder, if I had been brave enough that day, what would my life look like today? Would there be a different house, a different name on my door, a different story to tell my grandchildren? This isn't just a love story. This is the story of everyone who never said the one thing that mattered most, who never told their mother, "I love you," before it was too late, who never told a friend, "I'm sorry," and let the friendship fade into silence instead, who never told a brother, "You mean everything to me," because we assume they already know, when really no one ever truly does unless we say it. We think there's time. We think, I'll say it tomorrow. We think the moment will wait patiently for us to be ready. But sometimes, tomorrow never comes, and silence becomes the loudest regret of all, echoing far longer than any rejection ever could have. I still think about where David is today. Is he happy? Does he remember that rooftop that morning? Those glances that said more than words ever could? Maybe I'll never know.